so let's go to the pen again, and it's still section 13.7. And why do I always go to I think it must default to that one right there. I don't like that one. It's too thick. There we go. And let's just talk a little bit about what we did yesterday. We did sine and cosine. And one thing, speaking of Khan Academy, I was watching it last night, and I thought about doing this, and I didn't. But I'm going to do it for this one. This time, what we're going to do is, we're going to do an XY chart. We kind of referred to it a little bit yesterday, but I didn't really say the XY chart. But that's basically what we're doing, isn't it? We're looking at that circle, right? And we're looking at the X values. In this case, it's the angle values, right? That's along the X-axis. And so we put them in here. So we put our angles right in here. That's our X value, and we put our Y right here. But we're not going to call it Y. Let's call it what our function actually is. We're going to do tangent today. Okay, so let's do the tangent. We did sine and cosine yesterday. If you need review, look at it online. Okay, so it's tangent of theta. So let's first put in the quadrantal angles and figure out what it was. And again, oops, that's not very straight. Let's do it over here. And there we go. So let's do this really quick. This is 1, 0, 0, 1. You're used to this, right? Negative 1, 0. Right. And we know what the sine and cosine is, or the cosine sine, right? In that order, cosine is the first one, sine is the second one. What is the tangent, though? Sine over the cosine. It's the y over the x or the sine over the cosine. Remember that? Just write that down. So the tangent of the angle is the same thing as the sine divided by the cosine. Now, the tangent's really not one of these points necessarily, but you can always figure it out. It's not too hard. So it's 0 degrees is right here. So angle, let's start at 0 degrees, and then we'll go, what?
30.
Now let's do the quadrantals. What's next? 90. And then 180.
270.
And 270. And, yeah, let's put 360 in there as well. All right, so we've completed one full circle when we get to 360. So let's put the tangent. What is the tangent at 0 degrees? It's 0, because 0 divided by 1, sine over cosine, or you could think of it as y over x, couldn't you? So y over x is 0. 0 over 1 is 0. So the tangent at 0 degrees is 0. What about 90 degrees? What's the tangent there? What is it?
Null set.
Yeah, it's a null set. We don't really say that too much. We just say it's what?
Undefined.
It's undefined, right. The null set is this. Remember I did show you that thing? And people refer to that as a null set or empty set. You never heard of the null, N-U-L-L? You never heard that word before? Okay, but it's undefined. Watch what I'm going to do right here. So what's undefined? Is undefined 0? No, it's nothing. There's no value at all. There is no number that goes here. I'm just going to put a little dash there, okay? So there's no value at all at 90 degrees. So when I hit 90 degrees right here, where do I put my dot?
Anywhere.
I don't. No, not anywhere. It doesn't. It's not defined, all right? It's not defined, so it's nowhere. Nowhere on there at all. I'll show you in a second what we're going to do here. 180 degrees, what's the tangent? 270, tangent. It's undefined. The tangent, come on. 360 degrees is 0. All right, so let's put some of those points on here. Let's get rid of some of this mess. Let's get rid of that. Alrighty. Just so I can have some room. I'll keep the X and Y chart up there.
Missed the spot.
Where at?
Just kidding.
Alright, here we go. So I'm going to do this in red. Now watch this. 0 degrees is, so 0 degrees, 0. It's an ordered pair basically, isn't it? So it's just a point. Okay, let's go to the next one, 90. What do we do there? It's undefined. We'll come back to that. We don't put a point though, do we? Because it doesn't exist. Right? That's what this little dash means right there. What about 180? That's also at 0. Okay, and what about 270? It's undefined. What about 360? It's 0. Now, just with those 3 points, any idea what that's supposed to look like? No, not really. But what we're going to do, let's go back to the undefined now. This is what we do when it's undefined. It doesn't hit it at all. So what we do is this. I don't know this little thing to put a straight line. So I'm just going to do this by hand. All right, so we put a dashed line.
Looks pretty good.
Not too bad, better than I thought it would be. All right, so there's a dash line. I actually did this first period, so I'm kind of used to it now. So where else is there a dash line then?
360.
Come on, come on.
180. 180.
Look,
Oh,
dashed
yeah,
line is at
270.
90. Okay, the other dash line is at 270. All right, so let's put a dash line at 270. Now, you also have negative angles, don't you? What's up with that? What do you think we're going to do that?
Same.
Where are you going to put dashed lines over here?
90.
Well, let's say it's over here, so it's not 90, it's what?
Negative 90.
It's negative 90, okay? Because negative 90 is the same place as what? 270, that's right. All right, 270 is undefined, so negative 90 is going to be undefined as well. Do you understand what I'm saying without drawing it out or not? Look, 270 would be that, wouldn't it? Where is negative 90? It would be, I'm sorry. Yeah. So where do you end up? You end up at the same spot, don't you? So positive 270 and negative 90 is exactly the same place. So the tangent is going to be exactly the same thing. All right, so at negative 90, I'm going to put a dashed line as well because it's undefined at negative 90. Oops. All right, so that's starting to look like something, but what in the world? I got a dot right here in the middle of two lines. I got a dot right here in the middle of two lines. Okay, I could keep going over here if I wanted to. We'll just stay within this one right here. Is that all right? But you're going to see that it repeats here and then here and then here. Let's put some of the angles that we are familiar with. Let's slide a few angles in. In fact, I'm not going to do every single one, but what's halfway in between here?
60. 45.
How about 45? Okay, 45 degrees. Do you remember what the tangent of 45 degrees is? It's 1 because it looks like this. Square root of 2 over 2 over square root of 2 over 2 is 1. So the tangent of 45 degrees is 1. If that doesn't make any sense to you, look back on YouTube. Okay, it's in one of those lessons somewhere. Just find it. All right, so what would we say? 45 degrees, right? So 45 degrees would be in between 30 and 60, and we go up to 1. So right there. So at 45 degrees, the tangent is 1. What about this, between 90 and 180?
35.
Is it 35? 135. Right, so 135, that would be right here, wouldn't it? Now, what's the tangent in that second quadrant? It's still going to be a 1, but it's going to be what? It's going to be negative 1. Good. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Actually, you know what I should have done? I wanted to stay between here and here, didn't I? So let's not go beyond the 90. Let's just stay in here. So really, I should have gone what? Negative 45. Let's think of negative 45. Negative 45 would be here. The tangent in the fourth quadrant, it's the same thing as the tangent in the second quadrant, and it's also negative 1. So that's right. I won't even put it up here. Does that make sense? So negative 45 is at negative 1 right there. And I shouldn't have put that little dot there. Where's my eraser? There. Okay. All right. It looks just like a straight line, but do you think it's going to be a straight line? No, it's not. Let's fill in a couple just to kind of get an idea what it's going to look like. So now we can go to those other points that we know. We've done 0, we've done 90, we've done 45. What are some of the other ones we know? 30 and 60, right? So at 30. This is one I've asked you to memorize. Do you know what the tangent, or the tangent of 30 degrees? Square root of 3 over 3. Put it in a calculator. Who's got a calculator? Elizabeth, put it square root of 3 over 3. Or you could put the tangent of 30. What is it? 0.58, okay, so at 30 degrees is 0.58. 0.5 would be right here, right? And just a little bit higher than 0.5. So I'm just eyeballing it. It would be about right in there. What about 60 degrees? 60 degrees, what's the tangent of 60 degrees? Exact value.
Square root of 3.
Just a square root of 3, okay? You guys playing along? All right, let's think, okay? And answer, please. So at 60 degrees, it's a square root of 3. These are things that you should have memorized. All right. If you don't, you haven't been doing what you're supposed to do. That's all I got to say. So it's a square root of 3. And what is a square root of 3? Did you get that? 1.7. All right. So at 60 degrees, look, we go beyond the 1. Remember sine and cosine? We didn't go beyond the 1. On this one, we do. So the 60 degrees is 1.7. 1.5 would be about right here. 1.7 about in here somewhere. I'm just eyeballing it. Now, what's it do? It's curving, isn't it? It's not a straight line, it's a curve. So it curves like this. Guess what? What do you think what's going to happen in that 90? Does it go through that thing right there?
That's going to go parallel to
Do this. Who's got the calculator? All right, punch in like 89 degrees and put the tangent. Tangent of 89 degrees. See what you get. 57. Wow, this only goes up to 4. 57 would be way up out of range, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's crazy. That's at 89 degrees. Put 89.5 degrees in there, see what you get. So 89 was 57. That's way, way up. So it shoots up high. 114. Wow. Put 89.9 in there, see what you get. 572. There's no way I'm going to graph that, is there? 572. Do this. This is crazy, but put 89.9 in there. Or none, put all nines, 89.999, all the way to the end of your calculator.
Whoa, 5,700,000,000.
Doesn't it give you as a? Doesn't it give it to you as a scientific notation? It just. Okay, so it's like trillion something. All right, that's crazy. Look, so look, it keeps on going, doesn't it? And as long as you don't hit 90, it'll keep going up, and it does the same thing down here. Watch, I'm gonna.
Only goes down.
And it goes down though, right? Exactly. All right, so that's what the tangent looks like. Gets super close. I see it. It gets super close to this, but it never does touch. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.